Good morning again to whoever that is in the chat. Nice to see you in this live stream. Today, as I did earlier, I did a live stream on two-point perspective just now. So if you missed that, unfortunately, you would have missed something quite good. And now I'm going to do a live stream on light sources. So if you're interested in lighting your artwork and you're not sure how to do this, this is the best one of the ways that I do it. Not sure if it's the best way, but it will definitely help you in your quest to become a better artist if you practice some basic fundamentals. So we're going to go through some of the basic fundamentals of light and how to use it on your artwork. Like you can see here, I've used this hatch technique with this lighting on this human leg. What we're going to do initially is we're going to draw on basic objects. So for example, a cylinder or a sphere or something like that. It's going to go down that road. So we're going to start off basic and then we can gradually get a little bit more complicated, but not too complicated. So if we've got, let's do a little warm up. Let's draw some circles like so. All right. So we're going to cover a little bit of hatching and a little bit of lighting. So things like this you can practice all the time. Drawing circles, like you can see, I don't get them 100% right, but that's not a problem. Right? We are here to learn, and if we do make boo-boos every now and again, it's not a problem. Right? So what I would suggest you do is draw a few circles and then ask yourself the question, how can I turn that into a 3D object? Right? Because at the moment now we have a set of rings. So let's start adding some shading to this, right? Some hatching to this. Now you can automatically see. Oh, thank you, Suki. That's very nice. Oh, that is really nice. Thank you very much. Very, very, very much. I hope that's the goal anyway. I try to encourage people. That's why I do this. And I appreciate those very, very kind comments. And hello again, Holy Bee. I've seen, yeah, there's a few faces that were in earlier on this morning. So what I would do is I would practice doing that, where you literally grab a pen and then draw gradiating lines, gradually getting smaller and even smaller. All right. You see what I'm saying? So all of a sudden you can see that, hold on a minute, there seems to be a light source that is moving around this object. Do you get my point? To the point that we are here. And the light source has moved from my left, grabbing paper. Good, Holy Bee. See, so now you can see there was a light source here. You could almost say that here it was more intense and then it's moved away, right? Or it's moved towards it. So this is what you have to understand. Now we can definitely see, yeah, we've got a three-dimensional object and there is an intensity in the light source, right? So let's take this to the next level. Instead, obviously I'm using the pen all the time, unfortunately, for many, but I use the pen all the time. If you want to intensify your hatch and your shadow density, don't do this. Right? You can, however, you can build up your hatch by going again over it. You see what I'm saying? A little bit shorter than before. I've just built up the intensity of my shading. And if I want it to get even darker, I'm going to go a little bit shorter here. And then I will build the intensity of that shade. Now you can see we've got quite a nice gradient type effect there. How you doing, Kim? Hope you had a nice weekend. So I'm going to do the same again here. Building the intensity gradually. And then again here, I'm not going all the way. Gradually shorter, and it builds the intensity of our hatch. This is something I would practice as much as possible. You can always perfect this. You can always make it better. You always make mistakes doing it. However, it's also part of the learning curve that you make these mistakes. There you go. That is the most accurate of the 6, I would say. Has anyone got any questions about that until now? I'm just going to practice a little bit here just to show you guys how you can work with the Bic and how much different it is, how difficult it can be to get a cool gradient with the Bic pen. So anyone got any questions up until now? If you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like what you see, please share it. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, you will find over 70 tutorials on drawing. We are today jugular punch. We are now studying light reflecting and casting shadows on objects. That's basically what we're doing. For example, here you will see, you can see how the muscle contours with regards to the light source. So we're going to touch on that today. Good. No questions about that. I'll just give you a moment. Good. Okay, so let's go a little bit further. So if we have an object that is lit on one side, please don't forget, I'm going to check this word. Story ideas. Well, you have to learn how to write storyboards. So now I'm adding here a shadow. All right, based on where the light is coming from. Let's say it's here and here. We have a strong light, and it casts a shadow pretty much the same shape as the object. It slightly distorts it. So that would be a circular shape, a circular shadow. Do you see what I'm saying? Like when you're standing and you stand and you have your own shadow, you see a person on the floor. So if you have, say for example, 2 light sources, one here and one here, you would actually, depending on the power of the light, but we don't really need to go there because I think that's more something that Kim could discuss a lot more accurately than me. We would have 2 light sources and 2 shadows cast. So this is what happens when you see someone stand on a stage and they have multiple shadows because it has different light sources. Is everyone happy with that up until this point? If you miss my streams, you can watch them on YouTube. All of my streams are being recorded, and I literally posted one this morning. The one that I did this morning on perspective, 2-point perspective, was covered this morning. That was a part of it. So if you missed that, you can find that on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to it, I suggest you should. Yeah, Deji's back in the house. Deji's not missing it. He's always in the house. Deji's always in the house. So that's good. So now you can see we have multiple sources, and obviously here I haven't added one, but that is how you cast shadows, right? So if we have, I'll just use a spherical object because it's just easier. When you have like your, I don't know, your scene or your character, you have to think about where your light sources are coming from. So for example, like this, these are the arrows here, right? So these arrows represent different light sources. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, which light source is the strongest? And then you have to ask yourself, where do I want the shadow to be cast? So obviously, if this is the light, this side would be where it's going to be dark. And using a different render method, always practicing, there you go. You see? So that means our shadow is opposite our light source. The opposite side, right? The darkest point would be here, right here. And then it will gradually fade towards the top here, towards the light. You can see we got a pretty cool 3D object. That's brilliant, mate. I know you are. It's all good, mate. I'm glad to see it. I haven't done a female anatomy one for a while. I haven't done that for a while. So I might do that very soon, actually. Probably this week. Probably this week. And if you haven't checked my YouTube, you can check it. Because I think I've got one on there already. Itchy nose, excuse me. And thank you very, very much for the kind gifts. Toasted, Ale, Sani, and Crease. I hope I'm not butchering your name. Excuse me if I have. Yes, so Toasted, just check my YouTube. I've got 70 videos there. That's a lot. And today we did 2-point perspective, and that was really cool actually. So check that one out. If you're not into perspective, I would check that one out. And then hopefully I'm going to start lifting the levels of the live streams with regards to complexity. So we're going to start doing more complex tutorials with regards to perspective, hand drawing, and eye drawing. We're going to take it a little bit deeper. So I'm going to start thinking about doing stuff like that soon. So if you like that, you're in the right place. Good. How does this? Well, if you look at, that is a good question. I think Kim would probably be the best man to answer that. But usually the shadow fades the further away it gets from the object. It starts to fade, right? The distance I really cannot say. And I think that's down to the intensity of the light. See, so when we've got like a universal light like the sun, it casts a shadow and it fades away. And depending on the angle of it, it depends how long it is from your body. Depends on the angle. So I hope that helps. But I can't give you the exact distances. I don't know them myself. Usually, for me, it's not that important. And if I was to draw something and I needed it to be accurate, I'd probably take a photograph to test it. Yeah? Good. I hope that helped. Exactly. So this is our main light source. This is our shadow. Right. So today we did perspective, right? So why not do it again quickly? Let's do one more little recap on perspective. So that's going to help a bit. So for example here, oops, like that. So now we're going to draw a box in perspective. If you didn't watch that one yet, that was this morning, you should check it out. So now we've got a box drawn in perspective. And now I'm going to add another one above it here, because I think this is quite a good way of illustrating, oops, the light source. Bit narrow there, but that's okay. We can stick with that, like that, and like so. Right, so now we have two random boxes, right? I'm just going to finish these quickly as possible. So, like so. If we have a light source that is above it, where would the shading be? Where would the shadow be? Where do you think the shadow would be? If the light source was maybe here. The strongest light source. Where do you think the shading would be? I'm just making sure. Ah, DFN, how you doing? Wie geht es dir? Oh, nobody's talking today. It's a bit of a quiet one today. So I will probably have to explain it myself. So if I'm going to draw a sun a bit bigger here. If this was our major, now we've got two suns pretty much overlapping. Obviously the top surface we can't see. This surface here would be quite well lit, right? Here underneath would definitely have some heavy shading. This surface here also would have some shading. And darkest points would be here. That's where our shading would be. We might even have a slightly lighter area here. But here would be really, really dark, because it's on the back of the light source. Guys, does that make sense? And this area would be covering this area here. I'm just seeing if everyone's kind of getting that. And then obviously we would cast our shadows here as well. It would cast a shadow in this direction. Is everyone getting that? It's a quiet chat today. Quiet live stream. Anyone in the room that doesn't understand something? No? Okay. All right. I'll just keep going then. I will just keep going. So, if we have a cylinder shape like this, and in fact, let me do a couple. Thank you very, very much for your kind gifts. As you know, I do this for free because I want to encourage everyone to be able to draw. So I appreciate everything everyone contributes. And that is from Crazy. I am terrible. The bigger the light source, the softer the shadow. There you go. That's my right hand man there bailing me out. He's a photographer, by the way. So he's probably better qualified to explain it than me. So if the big light source is far away, it's small. Therefore, it's a hard light. Exactly, like the sun. Ich folge dir. Thank you. You're new here. Okay, you're more than welcome. I came. Oh, good. And if you're new here, you can. I've got over 70 videos, very similar in format to this, on how to draw. So if you like this kind of stuff, then you are in the right place. Almost 1K. Oh, thank you, Deji. Yeah, it's really, I don't even know actually. People say, oh, that's amazing, but I'm like, really? I don't know how to gauge it. Yeah, I was hoping to have 10,000 followers by the end of the year. And I started in December and I've doubled that. So I don't know. I was a bit lucky there. But I'm very grateful. Ja, gut, danke, DNF. Und bei dir, hast du eine Stelle gefunden? Ich hoffe, es läuft gut bei dir. So, yes, it did. And it was very good, actually. But it's up to you, mate. We have to do one together. So, let's add some shading to these objects here. So we have like a rod shape here, right? And we can add some shading. Like so, right? So that tells us our light source is coming from roughly here, right? So now we've got a similar shape object, and obviously it would get more intense around here, and lower still a little bit more intense, right? Probably this whole side, I should say. And then it would become more intense. So now let's open this and turn it into some sort of tube. Like so. The light source would be, if it's still the same from here, the shadow would be cast here again, right? Like this one. However, because it's coming from this direction, here would be well lit and here would be in the shade. Did you see that? Ja, heute muss ich um 1:40 Schule geben. Ja, ich arbeite mehr am Mittag, darum bin ich frei am Morgen. Er ist von meiner Schule. Ich weiß nicht, warum er schreibt so viel. Aber du musst DNF nicht blockieren, Kim. Ja. Kein Problem. Nein. Exactly. Shading opposite the light. That's all you have to remember. Obviously, it does get a little bit more complex when you have multiple light sources. But if you just want to understand the basics, shading opposite the light, and then you have to think where um, where do objects, say for example, if we have one, I don't know, cylinder and one spherical object, a ball, you have to ask yourself the question, okay, where do I want to cast the shadow? Okay, I want to cast the shadow in this direction, for example. So that means this side would also be in the darkness. That means this side would also be in darkness. And the shadow would also be cast here from this object. Do you see what I mean? So then we've got shading here, here from this object, and here from the light coming from here. I'm going to draw the best torch in the world, bar none. So we have the shading bouncing from here to here and then further on. Happy birthday. And obviously everything three-dimensional casts a shadow. Even like you can see my hand, it's you've got this kind of strange multiple shadow. That's because I've got light source here, window. Do you see what I mean? So that it's not a clear, even if I put my hand here, it's not a clear shadow. Let me see if it changes when I switch off the light. You can't see it. It was mainly from here, but you can, yeah, you can't see it. Let me see if I intensify the light. Yeah, it's tidy up. You see that? It's getting tighter. It's here, away from that surface. Every time I get close, it gets tighter. That's why the shadow is always tighter here at the bottom. Then it fades out. So, what's the time? Oh, I'm running out of time. Running out of time. So, need to make a phone call. Yes. Everyone's saying yes, so that's good. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. With the edge of the light part of the top. Hold on. Wouldn't the edge of the light part of the top box cut across? Cut across shadow on the bottom box. Cut across. Mate, I don't know what you mean. Hold on, I have to read that again. Wouldn't the edge of the light part, the edge of the light part here, cut across I'm not sure what you mean. But if, say for example, if we have a direct light source from the top, right? So if it's really direct from the top, here would be very, very dark. Here would be very, very dark because the light is coming directly from the top. And this is why lighting can be a bit complicated, because the room would have to be fully dark, fully dark. So for example here, I don't know, how would you explain that? let me draw it again. I have to draw that again. If we have, so I'm just going to draw that again quickly, so I've got a bit more space. So we've got our two boxes. Right, just quickly like that. I'm just trying to do that quickly. Right, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have to think about the environment that we're working in, right? Are we working in a room or are we working in a studio? That is very important to establish, right? Because if we are working in a studio and we don't have light everywhere and we had a light shining directly from the top, everything under that light would be totally dark. You see what I'm saying? So that would be totally dark. And I don't know much about light bounce. I don't know much about it because I'm not a photographer. I don't really need to know that to that extent. However, if we have a universal light, let's say it's we have a darkened room. We have a darkened room, but we have here a strong light source coming from the top, right? This area would definitely stay dark, and then this universal light would not light. It would cover this area, and it wouldn't be as dark, if you understand what I mean. Because we have this universal light coming from everywhere, but it's not strong enough to overcome this direct light. Now it's getting a bit now it's getting a little bit complicated. I hope that explained it, Michael. There would be actual shadow from top. Exactly. Exactly here. Exactly. But I couldn't really, this is what I wanted to explain here. And obviously here, light from these angles here would actually bleed through a little bit. It would, because it's actually universal. It's from everywhere. So you'd probably see a little bit of a fade in the darkness on the edges. So it gets a little bit tricky. It does get a little bit tricky. The shadow would, to an extent, yes, it is at the same angle as the light, but it does widen and fade slightly depending on the intensity of the light. Depending on the intensity, it widens. Like here, you see it gets tight. Like my finger is over the paper. The closer it gets, the more intense the shadow or the shading is. The more I take it away, the more it fades. That's why when you have a person standing there, the shadow is intense and then it fades out, right? You never really see it in fully. That would be probably really faded. So it's like an extension of from the light to the shade to the fade, if you understand what I mean. That way. It has a flow, right? Your shadows don't really go in a different direction because it's determined by the light source. Yes. Yeah. It becomes more faded. The closer you are, the closer the object is. Just look at something around you in the garden or whatever. The closer it is to the floor, if it's touching the floor, that's almost black, right? And then it fades the further away it gets. And that's why shadows don't continue forever. It will only follow to this point where your head is, for example. It has a limit. The limit, I don't know, but Kim explained it earlier on. Got 36 in the chat. Good, Vincent. Well, there you go. Thank God I've got something right today. Yeah, hard light, soft light. This is quite heavy. It's quite, Chrissy, it's quite difficult. But that is a photography thing, to be honest. Thank you. Thank you very much. Didn't look like that yesterday in the school. Oh, no. No, I'm joking. Well, yeah, it was a bit of a tough one yesterday. You're well on your way. Cheers, mate. Thank you, Michael, for the questions as well. Oh, sugar. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to try and pause the action quickly. I've got 40 questions. Excuse me. And thank you very much for all the kind gifts. Mario Tubes, missed that. I don't know what that means. True green tubes. Just like that. 3D object. Perfect. Wicked. Good stuff. And this one will help you if you look at the 2-point perspective tutorial I did earlier. Then everything falls into place. They all belong together. Oh, I can't personally. No, I don't rate people's artwork, unfortunately. I don't think I'm qualified to do that. I do it in school, but I don't rate people's artwork. But if I do visit your page, I will say, well done. Maybe you could improve something, but. Oh, that's nice, Glow. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube and you like what you see here, there are 70 videos on this. Not this subject, on various other subjects. Go for it, mate. I'll deal with this on my own. No problem. Thank you very much for trying to get involved there. You got to go now, so good luck on the live. Oh, thank you, Toasted. You're welcome. We'll see. We'll see. Not doing it for the fame, if I'm honest. Could you show the whole page of? Can you not see the whole page? I am not sure what you mean. Hold on. Maybe you mean this. I don't know if you mean this whole page. This one. That was the page that we did earlier. Yeah, that's the thing I struggle with sometimes. The top bottom box. Shading was dark. Quarter way. No, I don't. It's very hard to explain. It's very hard to explain. It's like here, I've shaded the shaded areas purely because they cast shadows on each other, if you understand what I mean. Here, it could also be dark. Doesn't have to be really, really dark. Obviously, really, really dark doesn't work. But if it's like a muted light around, like a daylight, here would be these sides would all be clear and less dark than the sides on the inside of the boxes, if you know what I mean. It's very difficult to explain. And that's if I understand exactly what you mean anyway. What do I do for a living? I teach. Well, Elliot, yeah, maybe I haven't done it exactly accurately, but I don't really understand what you mean. Surely the shadow on the bottom left would be a bit more curved than the cylinder because it's on the cylinder. Yeah, maybe it would. Maybe it would. But of the 54 that are in this live now, if that's the only thing that we're going to highlight as a problem, then we need to do a full tutorial on objects and light where we have, I don't know, a package like free Cinema 4D in to hand. Then you could see 100% accurately what these shadows would look like. These interpretations that I'm giving maybe are not 100% correct, but I'm not in a lighting studio. I'm just giving you the best I can with regards to lighting. I'm hoping it's helping. Oh, sorry, I don't speak French very well. I'm sorry. I, well, this is at the end of the day, I am not confessing that everything I do is 100% correct, but I haven't sat down and recorded this and checked it and cut it and paste it. This is live, and unfortunately, people make not mistakes, but there are things that could be probably better explained. That's just the way it is. That's the world we're living in. When you go and watch a footballer, I don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo, he doesn't kick the ball 100% of the time accurately. It's just the way it is. We have to acknowledge that we are human beings and maybe things that we do are not perfect. Shading is my biggest struggle. You have to go onto my YouTube channel for shading. One. Thank you, Jams. Thank you very, very much. How you doing, Idra? Hey. Long time no see. God. Okay, so that was a tough one. I've recorded it, so I have to go as well. So I tried to put them together. So now you can look at the 2 point perspective on my YouTube channel, and you can hopefully use the same perspective and add light sources to your object. So you've got a little bit of a bit of unity with regards to the live stream there, or both live streams. And I hope it helped you. Yes, perspective. And then what I will do is I'll probably do another perspective tutorial on how to draw buildings and landscapes. That's coming later on. And I recommend to anyone that joins my lives, if there is something that is not correct, please let me know. I'm quite happy to make a mistake because we're only human and we are all learning. We're all on a quest to get better and become better artists and also become better people, I hope. And yeah, so thank you all for joining me. I will take a photograph of this and I will post it also on my YouTube channel and on the TikTok channel as well. Well, they go hand in hand, yes. And as you can see, sometimes my worksheets get a little bit crazy. And if I do make a mistake, it's not because I want to lead anyone astray. It's just that I'm talking, I'm reading, and I'm drawing all at the same time. So please remember that when you join my live streams, there's a lot to be doing. When I'm not just sitting here drawing and someone else is narrating or just narrating it in the background. I have to juggle quite a few things at the same time. So if I do lose my flow every now and again, unfortunately, I don't have the skills that everybody else has. Triple threat. There you go. So, you know, if I'm working quietly on my own, I deliver work like this, right? So bear that in mind. If something is slightly, not perfect, just bear that in mind, that the conditions are very, very different. Excellent. Okay, so thank you to everyone that joined. Much appreciated. Thank you for everyone that followed. And if you're not following, maybe you should. I'm not going to force anyone. But if you did enjoy this, it would support me if you did follow. That's all I'm going to say. At some point, I might have to change my business model and start charging for this, because I need followers. That's all I need. I need exposure. And if you guys support me, I will support you. I will probably set a deadline with regards to how long I offer these lessons for free. I have to do that because maybe it's not sustainable if it's not exploited, but if people don't help to support the channel. So thank you very much, Jam, for your kind words, and Clarissa and everybody else, Holy Bee. I'm going to wish you all a lovely day, and I don't think I'll be on anymore today. That's the last one for the day. So take care, have a good one, and keep practicing, don't give up. And haters going to hate, but you can just keep going. Just keep going. You can watch it on YouTube. I will be posting it very soon. Bedtime for everyone. Yeah. Cheers. Bye-bye.